that's a potential thing. But let's
Mm-hmm.
get into that part of Money in the Bank there, where Logan Paul was added to the Money in the Bank match on Monday Night Raw.
Why?
Out of nowhere, coming out, basically saying that he's in the Money in the Bank match. What are you guys' thoughts on that, especially with LA Knight coming out? Everybody basically who was in the Money in the Bank match coming out on Raw. What do you guys think about that?
Luke, can I go first, please?
Sure.
Oh man.
Just saying.
Now,
Brian's been thinking about this.
Oh man, it's Logan Paul, man. Now, in ring wise, as a celebrity wrestler, Logan Paul is very good. Now, I'm not gonna lie. He's a tremendous athlete. But some of the stuff he's done, the spot with Ricochet at the Royal Rumble, the matches he's had with Seth, as an athlete, Logan Paul is very good. But I am telling y'all, if Logan Paul wins the Money in the Bank, and it's not LA Knight, I'm telling you, they need to strip away the Money in the Bank as a pay-per-view and bring it back to WrestleMania as an attraction. Because
I think they should do
essentially,
that. I vote for that. Yes,
if you're gonna have Logan Paul win the Money in the Bank, that clearly shows that, because we already know it's an outdated concept. It has been one for a long time. And by you having him take the Money in the Bank, that's essentially you saying, okay, the Money in the Bank is an attraction per se.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, then it shouldn't have its own pay-per-view anymore. In my humble opinion.
May I interject?
The Money in the Bank used to be used, should be used to get a guy essentially to the next level if it's booked properly. Because we've seen in the past, I know exactly what you're about to say. We've seen in the past where people winning it, cashing in on the champion, and then their title reigns be absolutely nothing. So there was a point in time though, like at the very beginning with Edge, Rob Van Dam, some of these guys in the very beginning, where the cash-ins worked perfectly with their characters, especially Edge's in the very beginning.
It cemented his whole thing.
Then it got to a point, but then when it got to a point where these guys were cashing in, winning the title, Tyler Reigns would be nothing. They'd lose the title, wouldn't be champion again for 5 years. So and that's what's happened. And that's exactly what's happening. So you put the Money in the Bank on Logan Paul. I get the story you could tell. You can have with Seth, exactly, because they had the match at WrestleMania, and there's still lots of stories to tell.
Logan Paul.
So in that sense, if they were going that direction, it would make sense. But I'm just saying, as far as the Money in the Bank goes as a concept, it shouldn't have its own pay-per-view if Logan Paul wins this match, and it should just go back to being an attraction at WrestleMania. Because if you want to reestablish the Money in the Bank as a concept, then you have to go back to how it was in the very beginning when it really did help elevate guys. And having LA Knight win it in that case would make the most sense. You can't have
no, you're right, but I think, like you just mentioned, that story with Logan and Seth could be big enough that it draws in a lot, because you had him screw him over, Rumble, Elimination Chamber. Like, there's already a good enough story that they can be like, this guy, and mind you, look at the matches he's had. He had the one to Roman. He's lost to everybody. Besides that tag match with The Miz, he's lost everything else. So this, as much as I don't want it to happen, but this could be his one big win that he gets. So I think they should still keep it as a pay-per-view, because essentially you still have two Money in the Bank matches. You have the men's and the women. So I think it makes more sense to still keep it as a pay-per-view. I know, yes, it was more special when they would do it at WrestleMania and be like, oh, look, this is the next star. They're going to have the opportunity to cash in and blah, blah, blah. But to have 2 Money in the Bank matches at like a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam, it's like I think it might be too much, but I don't know. That's just I really don't want Logan Paul. Like same, I really want LA Knight, but at the same time, looking at the story and is it LA Knight's time? Yes, he's over, but like Dan's been saying, he doesn't have the wins right now. He's still losing. So how do you legitimize him just by giving him the Money in the Bank contract? But
I'm just saying. I think Logan Paul is in position to win this Money in the Bank, and the reasons that we just laid out. He has been a thorn in the champion Seth Rollins' side. And what better way to piss off more of the UK fans than having Finn Balor lose and then having Logan Paul cash in at Money in the Bank? It will be the craziest spectacle in wrestling. It will create two storylines. We already have the Bloodline, and now we have Logan Paul, probably one of the biggest internet stars of all time, winning the title, putting more eyes on the product. Everyone's saying, "What the hell?" Monday Night Raw the next night is going to be crazy. And when's the last time WWE has done something crazy?
WrestleMania.
That's the greatest of all time.
What are we? WCW and David Arquette? What are we doing here?
I'm just saying. At that point in time, David Arquette was not respected. Let's just put it that way. He was an actor. Logan Paul has actually been in the ring and had bangers as an outside guy coming in.
Makes sense.
Oh, what if Logan Paul wins, but he ends up being one of those people that cashes in and doesn't win the title?
That's a waste. Again, at that point in time, if they do that, that's just a waste of the Money in the Bank.
Maybe LA Knight screws him.
If they do something along the lines where he gets screwed,
then you have a triple threat.
Oh no, they're not
for the title.
They're not going to do that.
Why not?
Because Logan Paul is. I'm just saying this. All the time when they did this on Monday Night Raw, I was just like, oh man, is he going to win it? Because why wouldn't the only reason why Logan Paul is around right now is because of Seth Rollins. Mm-hmm. Right now it's indirectly, but the only reason why he's around is because of Seth Rollins. That's it. Like he just beat him at WrestleMania, embarrassed him at WrestleMania. What better way to get back at the person who has been a thorn in the side? And if we're building up Seth and we don't want to push him down our throats as the babyface champion, what better way to continue Seth Rollins' run is to have him lose to Logan Paul and then get it back at some point, maybe a match at SummerSlam. That's a big money main event attraction.
That actually would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of sense if he lost it and then got it back.
Let me just say this. I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen because it's like, again, as we said, there's a lot of guys in this match, Damian Preist, LA Knight, Pete Dunne, guys trying to make the name for themselves. And to have it just go to a person who is established outside the product, it looks bad. But I'm just saying, Logan Paul right now looks, it's all the pieces are there. They all make sense.
But maybe if he does win, he won't even go after a world championship. He could go after the US or the IC title, like somebody else.
They can't do that. Who's it going to face? Gunther?
No, but I'm sorry. The fact that Theory literally, in which I don't think has ever been done, cashed in on a mid-card title, like that's never been done. And this man literally was like, I don't want a world title. Give me the US championship.
My whole thing is that he didn't even do it to Roman like after a match or anything like. Well, he tried to and then got beat up by Tyson Fury. See that clash at the castle.
Exactly.
Disrupted everything.
That clash at the castle, man, it ruined a lot of people. Drew McIntyre hasn't been.
He tried to cash in at SummerSlam and then Brock Lesnar fucked it up. See again.
Yeah.
I mean that's fine. Yeah. That's Brock Lesnar. That's Brock Lesnar. But it just makes too much sense for Logan Paul to win. I hope he does not. I hope he doesn't win.
I really hope he doesn't.
I just hope he's in the match and then something happens like where it sets up another feud with him that sets it up for SummerSlam. Maybe he goes after that person and they have a match at SummerSlam. But right now, I'm just like, nah, they can't do that. I hope they don't do that. not to the guys that are on the roster right now. I hope they don't.
What would be crazy if Finn actually did get the win, and that's like the full circle of him finally getting the title. But and this is why, like, I really hope it's either LA Knight or Damian Priest that wins it, because if you got Damian Priest, that sets up a whole thing where they're like, "Oh, are you gonna cash in on me?" No, I'm gonna go in on the other one. And he's like,
that creates a.
"Hey, you're here. If I get,
yeah,
you know, like I feel like that sets up a great story." But if breaking it down, the Logan Paul shit does make a lot of sense. But it also would make more sense because if he wins a world title, it's not like he's gonna be defending it often. You know, it would make sense that like the next pay-per-view SummerSlam he would just drop it. You know,
Yeah,
but then he says, "Hey, I was world champion at some point."
I'm just saying he signed a contract with WWE.
He did.
Like it wasn't just like a part-time thing or anything. Like he's legitimately a part of the roster. Like whether we like it or not, he's at Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank in London. It doesn't need any more attraction. You know what I mean? Like it's already in London. But to put Logan Paul in that spot, Seth Rollins injured ribs, everything is lining up to have Logan Paul win the title.
Prime would sell through the roof.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. But that's the way it looks like it's going to shake up, and we'll see what happens.
Logan Paul won the title. Logan Paul won the title.
I'm just saying. And again, this is why I think it potentially could happen, because it's like it isn't like a David Arquette situation where David Arquette was just a roadie that liked wrestling and came around. Like David Arquette eventually became a wrestler and had respect on the indies and stuff like that. So eventually he did become that. But at that point in time, he wasn't respected. And especially where WCW was at that time, trying to draw people to the crowd, it didn't. Nah. But to have Logan Paul do it, and it's there's another caveat. It's not the WWE Championship. It's the World Heavyweight Championship. It's a different type of wrestling belt, and he could be the antagonist. Like this is supposed to be the workhorse title. Well, guess what? I'm not working this week. The heel run that he could have as the champion could set that up. It's going to be interesting, but I hope it doesn't happen. As Brian says, I hope it's LA Knight or Damian Priest has a nice surprise. But it's
because it was crazy, like you saying that, and for you literally to introduce this new title and then have a celebrity come in and be like, "All right, I'll see you in a month." It's like, what?
The ultimate heel, it can be the MJF thing.
Take the ball and run.
Like I don't have to be here this week. I'm not going to wrestle, and then have some lackeys or something like that. Have somebody do his business.
But then we're going to be right back to where we were when Roman was champ.
Where's our title? We just introduced this thing.
Just got it back.
Literally just got it back. Let's continue moving on here to another disappointing. Well, I don't even want to say Logan Paul being introduced is disappointing. It's intriguing. I should say that. It's intriguing. Whether we like it or not, it's at least creates a little bit more mystique in the Money in the Bank match. Let's